Welcome, friends, it's the MovieFilm Podcast. MovieFilm Podcast, enjoy the show. Zachy and Brian are talking about the movies. MovieFilm Podcast on the radio.
Welcome to a movie film commentary track. My name is Zachy Hassan. I'm here with Brian Hall.
Hey, how's it going, Zachy?
Hey, are you ready to do this?
I think so. I'm ready to go down the rabbit hole.
Are you ready to re-enter the Matrix?
I am.
Well, this has been long in coming. We did our first Matrix commentary track back in 1999's 20th anniversary, which would be 2019. That's how I do math, Brian.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, when you said 19, I was like, what?
I realized as I started talking, I was like, no, that would not have been 19.
No, this was I was excited to go back to this because obviously we have the Matrix Resurrection, or is it plural?
Resurrections, which
the second trailer dropped yesterday, and you and I we texted each other. We are equally jazzed. So I am super excited to be re-immersed into the Matrix here.
I know the timing could not be better. So I have only recently revisited the trilogy in toto, but I revisited it again.
Yeah,
because
in preparation, or you were doing it before we were even going to do the commentary.
Well, I rewatched it, and then we were going to do the commentary. So I was like, well, by gum, I'm gonna celebrate the 20th anniversary of 2003.
Yeah.
Which is that's how it
works. The math.
I measure time. There's pre-Matrix and post-Matrix.
Right.
It's just so of course, this movie did come out in 2003, and it was highly anticipated, and then highly polarizing, I think is the polite way of putting it.
I'm really looking forward to getting into that. Yep. I mean, it's almost hard to explain, I would imagine, to someone who isn't there. Like, I mean, this was like Star Wars 2, and everyone was like, whoa, midnight screenings. And I remember I was in college at the time, and it was huge buzz. And then people had polarized reactions to it. And that affected, I think, the third one. Yeah.
So, let's save that discussion for as it arises.
For the 2-hour 18.
Yeah, exactly. we gotta fill the time.
Yeah.
So let's take a short break, and then we'll come back and we will watch The Matrix Reloaded. Okay, we are back and we are ready to go. So as always, Brian and I will be watching there's only the one cut of The Matrix Reloaded, and you can watch along with us, or if you don't feel like doing that, you can just listen along as we talk. Either way, hopefully we will find it engaging, I hope. That's always the first hurdle. Yeah. Engaging each other is always the initial struggle.
Right.
But hey, if we get past that, maybe you all will like it too. Who's to say?
That's the hope.
So if you are watching along with us, we will cue it up right now. So we will play on 3 as usual. We'll go 1, 2, 3, play. So Brian, you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, play.
Ooh.
Do you hear it? Do you hear the...
Which, by the way, I read that it escalates in notes with each sequel.
With each one, it gets more intense.
Which is really smart because it sort of ramps you up, right, with each installment.
Well, it's building up to a sort of a culmination.
Mm-hmm.
And the anticipation for this movie before it came out is, I think, hard to encapsulate to somebody who wasn't there for it, right?
Yeah, because now we've talked about this before, probably in the first commentary, but I mean, The Matrix used to be like, The Matrix!
Mm-hmm.
And then it became like, oh yeah, those sequels weren't any good. When you say The Matrix, which is so unfortunate, right?
It really is.
Not only for the first one, but I think you and I are fans of the sequels.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put them all on equal footing, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I do wonder about that a lot, because there was definitely that initial burst of enthusiasm followed by immediate disappointment that was felt by the people who were waiting for part 2, and that sort of manifested in part 3, kind of just coming and going.
Yes. Yeah. And even watching this opening moment here reminds me how immediately the Matrix became essential, a part of the canon of like Star Wars, this, that, the Matrix. Because then I remember when Phantom Menace came out and seeing a new crawl with new words was like, what? Because the first 3 had been so cemented in my mind. Likewise, even though this was only a couple years after the first one came out, it was nuts seeing new Matrix action.
Yeah, like
because
we're back in this world now.
Yeah, and the first one had just so quickly become, I don't know, part of our fabric, right? Yeah. And we watched it so many times. And also, I think it's worth noting that the first one came out right at the very beginning of DVD. And yes. I imagine for many, many people, it was one of the first DVDs they ever owned, which made them probably watch it more, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, it was for a time the best-selling DVD ever.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was you show off your system with the Matrix.
Yes.
And all that beautiful standard def.
Yeah, I know. It's so funny to think
You're
about
like,
now.
Check this shit out.
It makes me wonder, because my friend Jason had this huge TV. That was sort of like, he was one of the first of us to work and get a real job, and he had this huge television. And so we would go to his basement to go watch The Matrix on this enormous television. And at the time, I mean, it blew our minds. And I wonder if now 2021 us could go back and look, we'd be like, ugh.
Yes. I remember those, the back in the 90s, you had your big screen flat TVs that were so thick that they took up like a third of the room.
Yeah. It was like furniture.
It was still a tube TV, Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, now it's as it should be. I mean, it's like a flat picture frame on the wall.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah. But anyway. But yeah, this is apparently the highest grossing film in the franchise, which kind of makes sense because I think people discovered the first one and then everyone was anticipating this one, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was kind of like Austin Powers syndrome.
Yes.
Very similar, where it even though, I mean, The Matrix, the first film did very well at the box office, but it kind of came out of nowhere. So it was very much a slow burn. And by the time the second one came out, and especially because we already knew that it was 2 and 3 back to back, they were doing the Back to the Future thing, know?
Yes.
There was, if for people who missed it, there was that sense of like, oh, I'd better get caught up,
Yeah, well, this made $741 million worldwide in 2003 money,
and for an R-rated movie, that's even more impressive.
Yeah, which I looked it up, but it surpassed. It was the 19-year record holder was Beverly Hills Cop, and then this was pretty quickly surpassed by Passion of the Christ a year later.
Oh, wow. But, yeah.
What a time for R-rated movies.
Although I suppose it's kind of appropriate because this too is a Christ parable.
Metaphor, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, so much. I mean, even when I was doing all the research for this, I started writing some of it down and I was like, it's too much. like every ship is, named after like a biblical king or...
Right.
Which is cool. I'm not. I think I love all the thought that went into it, but it would be a lot to recite as we went along.
It's very interesting because as we alluded to earlier, I mean there was a reflexive backlash to this movie that was very palpable.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as it came out, we've told the story in the regular show that our friend Sean went to see it, and the morning after, I just got a email from him where he just describes in exacting detail how after the screening got out, he walked over to the trash can and threw away his ticket stub.
Right.
As sort of like, this is what I think of this movie, and I always find that very funny. And personally, I did not have a visceral dislike, but I do remember falling asleep.
Oh, interesting.
I went to the midnight show, so I'll at least partly blame that. But I remember I probably missed a good 40 minutes in the middle.
Wow.
So much so that after it ended, I was like, "Hey, wasn't Monica Bellucci supposed to be in this?" Slept right past her part.
I have this memory of our one of my film school professors. He went at midnight with his son, and I hadn't seen it yet, and so the whole class was like, "Is it any good? Is it any good?" And he was like, "Look, yeah, it looks cool, but there's just no emotion. Like I just can't find my way into these." And I remember that wasn't what I wanted to hear, right? And it's funny because then revisiting this, even though I still really love the visual feast of it, and a lot of the thinking that goes into these scripts. I mean, they have a lot they're trying to convey, but it maybe too much, at times. And I can see where this one feels more emotionally, I don't know, dense or not dead. That's the wrong word. I'm just saying, like there's not a lot of emotion, is what I'm trying to.
Yeah, a little distant.
Everyone's kind of cold.
Yeah.
And it kind of worked in the first one, but there was sort of the sense of discovery through Neo.
Yes.
So there was the intrigue and the whatnot, but in this one, everyone's a little too cool for school, and there's like a whole lot of philosophical talk. Like if you're looking for a guy, and it's like, "Are you the guy?" It's like, "I was the guy. If I'm the guy, you want to be the guy." And it starts to get a bit much as the movie goes along. Having said that, I do still very much enjoy watching it. So,
what's funny to me is the same stuff that kept me at arm's length with this when I saw it is the same stuff that I find charming now. And it's the flourishes of autorial voice. Like this is so distinctly a product of a singular or a dual vision, if you will.
Absolutely.
No one else could do it. I was remembering this morning how there was talk very briefly before this fourth film materialized in the form that it did, where they were talking about having somebody else do like a continuation. And I remember telling you, I'm like, if the Wachowskis aren't doing it, then it's not The Matrix.
Yes. Because
it's so much an expression of their singular universe building,
Absolutely. Yeah.
What's funny is I was watching this scene earlier where you've got all these captains and Morpheus just being Morpheus, and goddamn, what a pain in the ass he must be, right? because you know what I mean? Because he's just doing his thing, and in the first film, it's just the Nebuchadnezzar, right?
I was just gonna say, in the first film, you don't think about it, but when he has to interact with others, you're like.
Yeah, because it's almost it's like the monorail episode of Simpsons where Leonard Nimoy is just talking and the one guy's like, "Anybody want to switch seats?" It feels really like funny.
That. Yeah.
Morpheus is like, "I do not need for you to be who I wish I am to be." To you. It's like, dude, I just want to know what you want for lunch. Like
I know.
It's a little bit of that.
I know, dude. That's really funny.
What is so interesting to me is I think this movie, my estimation of it, grows on repeat viewings, partially because I like where the story ends, and I think that's people got many opinions on that, but for me personally, I find the trilogy very satisfying. And so the journey to the end of that story, I like all the little pieces of it. Even as I admit, I think that their reach was probably bigger than their grasp. And this it technologically, certainly.
Oh yeah, sure.
Right, which we'll talk about in certain points. But it does have these. It does get a little indulgent at times.
Yeah, but and I completely agree. But I am glad they attempted to indulge. At least in terms of the density of story they were trying to tell and the world they're trying to build. And so, yes, some of it works, some of it doesn't. Having said all of that, I mean, even just this fight we're watching right now, I mean, they found a really great way to take what we expect and they just keep building upon it and the whole freeway chase that comes up and, they give us the sizzle we showed up for I think it delivers on that level.
Yeah, the question is, the Last Jedi these days is kind of like the poster child for what happens when you subvert expectations, right? People, the short version, people don't like it. This was subverting expectations back then. and people had some opinions about it.
Good. I didn't even think to make that comparison, but I think you're right.
I mean, the first movie ends, and here's Neo on the phone, right? And he's like, "I'm gonna show them what you've hidden from them," and whatever he says, right? The thing at the very, very end. And I think people were sort of expecting a bunch of superhero fights.
Sure.
Like, oh, he's gonna show everybody how to, use their superpowers and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And what this is instead is it's a story about, it's Christ saying, am I ready for everything people are putting on me?
Right.
Which is, I mean, that's intrinsic to the Christ story. And I find that interesting. The notion in the film is it's a we get into again and again purpose and choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Neo is grappling with.
Right.
What is his purpose, and what are the choices in front of him?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's that idea of just constantly questioning, well, what am I doing here? Who am I? I just, where's the oracle? I just want her to tell me what I'm supposed to do, because I don't know. Like that's
everyone thinks I'm this person, and I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm actually, in fact, that person.
Yeah. And the one person who's the most certain is Morpheus, right?
Right.
And what happens to Morpheus when the rug gets pulled out from under him?
Mm-hmm.
He's unable to process it,
Right.
Like, I think we'll get to it more, but there's a point where Neo's like, yeah, no, I'm not the one. It's just another thing you control, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like fine with it,
Right. Yeah.
I find this sequence right here really interesting, where it's the flight control guiding them into Zion, and they're plugged in to a simulation. The people in flight control are plugged in, so it's a virtual flight control.
Right.
So for all the thing, like, it's right away we're breaking down this binary, humans versus machines.
Mm-hmm.
Right away, the movie from the start is saying, well, it's not as clear cut as that.
Right.
I mean, that's
I
made,
didn't even think about that, honestly.
It's made explicit later when we have the Anthony Zerbe character talking about the machines that keep Zion going, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the in between the first film and second film, just in the lead up to this, they put out a DVD of anime shorts called the Animatrix, right? Which you and I have talked about. And there's several shorts in there that tie directly into this. There's one called Final Flight of the Osiris that actually sets up what Niobe and those various characters are discussing, where it's a ship that discovers the machines drilling to Zion.
Oh.
So they get out the message that the machines are coming right before their ship is destroyed. So in this, we found out, so they received the message.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, she even refers to it, the message that the Osiris sent us. But there's another short, which is a 2-part short called The Second Renaissance, which is the history of what led into the first film.
Yes, I was just telling you, I remember watching these at the time. It's been a while, but would you call them essential viewing?
Oh, without question.
Yeah.
Without question. Because you watch that and you see the history of how human beings built machines. The machines got more and more intelligent, and then they became enslaved, and then they fought back against their oppressors, which is a very old story. And, I watched it with my kids, just recently when we did our rewatch, and he was like, oh, it's like Planet of the Apes.
Was he like, I'm going to stop yelling at Alexa now?
Come on, Alexa, stupid.
Yeah, just tell me the weather, idiot.
But you get it, right? So when you watch that and you're like, oh, okay, well, the machines are a species. They are a race.
Yeah.
That is being oppressed. Well, then it's a lot harder to be like, oh, those evil machines, right? And then the other thing you see is the way even before the Matrix, human and machine society had been sort of intertwined. We see a thing about how because the machines started their own city. Sorry, not city, country. in roughly what I think it's in what's Arabia now. There are countries called 01. And they're like, okay, no, fine. We'll just have our own place. We'll just do our own thing. And they're building machinery and all this, and all of the human world is buying 01 machinery.
Mm.
And that's what leads to the war, is the economic impact.
I gotta rewatch these.
You really should.
Yeah, I remember visuals from them, but it's been a while.
Yeah, it's quite remarkable how you're all told you're looking at about 10 minutes, and yet there's so much story contained within those 10 minutes.
It's kind of amazing too. I mean, this must have been, when else could this have happened when you could have this extra material that I'm sure the filmmakers feel is essential to the story, but how else would you have received it pre A, internet, B, DVD, when you could include it as an extra or something?
Yeah, that's right.
Know?
Yeah, it's, I mean, they were kind of doing the cinematic universe thing before it became coin of the realm.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's Harry Lennox as Commander Locke.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the first thing I saw Harry Lennox, and he's one of those guys who's in like everything. Right?
I was going to bring up, by the way, who we already saw, but Harold, oh boy, am I going to say it right? Perrineau? Perrineau? Who I know from Lost.
From Lost.
But he replaced Tank on
Marcus
Nebuchadnezzar,
Chong.
right?
Yeah.
Marcus Chong, because he kind of had a falling out with the Wachowskis.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's two sides of that story.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it sounds like it was a dispute over, contracts, money, and
over
whatnot.
what happened exactly. Yeah,
who knows who, whatever. But yeah, that fell through, and then now we have Link.
And I mean,
Tank.
I wonder if the story would be substantially different if it was Tank. I feel like it probably wouldn't be.
No, probably not.
Right.
Yeah.
He serves a purpose, and that's fine. I like Tank. I like Link.
Yeah.
But it tells you something. All they really need to do is change 2 letters in the name.
Well, I think they're similar characters, right? Like, they are capable, and they are in the middle of the action. They're the facilitators of getting persons from A to B through whatever sort of, crazy means in this story. And so we see them frazzled. We feel frazzled, right? And when everything works out and they go, whoo, we go, whoo.
Well, I mean, he's the man in the chair.
The man in the chair. Exactly. Yeah, I'm seeing that even in 2018, Marcus Chong released a documentary on YouTube called The Marcus Chong Story.
Okay.
In which he continues to make accusations against the studio and people from the movie. So,
I mean, I would imagine that sucks.
Bit of a sore spot, yeah.
Similar to Crispin Glover when it comes to Back to the Future. One presumes,
Yeah.
This is Anthony Zerbe. He's another one of those great character actors who has a certain amount of gravitas. You just put him in.
Mm-hmm.
He's just been in a ton of stuff.
Yeah, I love his scene later with Neo at night.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming up.
I love at the beginning of these, just getting through random facts. But this is actually in the Guinness Book of World Records because it had the widest film print run of all time. So this had 8,517 copies sent out at the same time. Something that will surely never happen again.
So at the time, it was the widest release ever.
Ever. Yep.
Amazing. Now you can have wider releases, but you just do it digitally.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Which makes you think how crazy it is, especially, the first thing that comes to mind is Batman Returns, where they added that ending with Catwoman, the back of her head.
Mm-hmm.
And that was done like a week before release or something. And then you think they have to literally print thousands and thousands and thousands of copies of this thing if anyone is ever to see it,
Amazing.
And now it's like you can just we tweak this here, upload it.
Yeah, you just do a save, replace.
Yeah.
The file.
See, I like this. Zion, I think, also people probably have divided feelings on, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think some of it works, some of it's like I just don't respond to, but like, this is interesting. The people who really sort of worship Neo, or
See, I don't like how they're cock blocking Neo. I resent the Zionese. Is that what they're called?
the Zionites.
I'm like, come on, man. My man just wants some.
That's hilarious. And then we also, I don't remember his name, but the boy who's like basically like 37 years old and who like
Kid, quote unquote.
Yeah, he's named like Kid. Yeah.
So
Neo.
That's another kid. That's the kid story is in the Animatrix.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's actually really worth watching. It's called Kid's Story, and it shows how he is the only person to leave the Matrix on his own.
Okay.
So he like willed himself to leave the Matrix. He didn't have to take a red pill.
See, okay, that's really cool.
Yes.
I almost would have liked that detail.
Yeah.
In the movie.
Yeah. Exactly.
Where like maybe Neo just doesn't know how to handle. I think that's what it is. I don't think he's a jerk. I think he just doesn't know how to handle this attention. This isn't something he asked for, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it would be interesting if Trinity mentioned that fact to him, and it would just give this little detail.
Well, it's in the short. It's so essentially he kind of the same as Neo. He's having these dreams, like what's real, what's not, and then he connects with Neo through the computer screen the same way Neo did with Trinity, and Neo calls him the way Morpheus called Neo, and he's like, the agents are coming, you need to get out of there. And they chase him to the top of the roof of his school building, and he flings himself off. And he's like, Neo, I believe. And he dies in the Matrix. But then so he's there, and Trinity and Neo are there with him.
Right.
And he says, Neo, you saved me. And Neo's like, no, you saved yourself.
Okay. You know what this is reminding me of? This is reminding me of Harry Potter with the character of Dobby.
Okay.
Where when I watched the movie, I was like, I don't really like this thing. Mm-hmm. And then when he dies, spoiler, sorry, in the last film or whatever it is, and all the kids are crying, I was like, I thought you hated him. Like, why are we so sad over it? Like, I did not understand.
And there's a whole backstory in the books.
Well, then people tell me, in the books. I'm like, well, I didn't read the book. I only watched the movie. In the movie, I'm very confused. I thought nobody liked this character, but now everyone's really sad that he's dead. So, likewise, this character has always kind of gotten on my nerves.
Yeah, I agree.
And even he becomes a pretty big character in the third film.
That's right. Yeah.
But I feel like, oh man, if they had just, it might have been worth the time fleshing him out and saying that, because what you're saying to me right now is very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
Real quick, the character we saw earlier, Link's love interest Z, who was played by Nona Gay in the film, she was supposed to be played by Aaliyah. She had filmed, the singer who passed away in a plane crash, early 2003, I think it was. I mean, when did?
Wow.
No, wait. When would that have been? It couldn't have been early.
Was it like 2001?
2002, I think it would have been. Okay. But anyway, she had not finished filming, so they reshot her stuff. I remember at the time people thought that Aaliyah's role was Niobe, but
I see.
That there's no way that would have made sense because Aaliyah, Niobe's supposed to be a former love interest of Morpheus, and
right.
I know age ain't nothing but a number, but it would have been awkward.
It's funny. But yeah, this was a lot more Zion than I think we were used to.
I think it's a lot more Zion than people wanted.
No, we're not there yet, but I was thinking earlier today in light of the commentary, I read that there was 1,000 extras for this scene, which is incredible. I mean, when you think about the logistics of that, costumes, food, whatnot. But I was picturing like if in 2002 you and I were like, dude, let's be extras in the Matrix. Like, rad. We're going to wear these cool coats and sunglasses. And then they put us in this room with all these people who are like stomping and like whipping their hair and sweat is going everywhere.
And just humping.
Yeah. And we're just like, Zachy, Ryan. And we're just like holding each other like, we wanted to be in the Matrix.
I definitely remember I definitely remember when the speech I was fine with, but shortly after when we get into the rave,
Yes.
I remember that thought of like, well, this was not what I was expecting from this movie.
Agreed. And I think when the sequels come up, this is a main bullet point that people cite
Yes.
as something that they don't really like. And I do feel like it's a little sore thummy, but at the same time, I think with time, I've sort of gotten used to the conceit where it's like these humans trying to celebrate, and
It's being human.
Just being human. Yeah. And it's kind of primitive because that's where they are. All they got is this cave and stomping around and being humpy,
It's in the absence of TikTok.
Right.
This is what we do. Yeah. Is it better or worse? I don't know. I don't judge. But
Right, exactly.
they do stomp,
Yeah, stomp. There is stomp right there. We just saw them.
Exactly. Yeah, it's I think the point that's trying to be made is this idea that our fire and our passion, that's what we have, and the machines will never have, right? But the movie itself is pushing back on that. Certainly, by the time we get to the third one, I mean, what it's trying to say is, we're not as different as we think. And so, Morpheus is arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
And that's maybe not made as clear as it could be, or maybe even should be. But I mean, he's kind of high on his own fumes a little bit.
Sure.
And the world is more complicated than even he realizes.
Mm-hmm.
Neo's like, all right, here we go. Yeah. Finally. Let's sneak away before somebody wants me to bless their child or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and you know what? This is nice. I mean, we get basically a sex scene here, right? And it's like it is nice to see some passion between these two, because that is very important to this story in particular.
Yeah.
Like what Neo is willing to do for her. But yeah, this thing I think could be cut back a little bit. And frankly, I mean, if I'm going to have to invest in Zion, I'd like to get to know some of these people a bit better.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's a few like token characters who we follow, like Kid.
Yeah. Is he called Kid?
That's like his
credited
like Zion name. His I don't know what he's listed as in the credits of this, but his name is Michael Karl Popper.
Okay, he's named after someone, right?
Yes, and I should know who.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet it's some sort of philosopher.
Probably.
Yeah.
You talk about sex scenes, and I'm like, we don't really do that in movies anymore, right? Like,
it's kind of true, isn't it?
Like in mainstream movies.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny, even with this movie, I saw something where it was talking about, when Neo's in the monitors later and you can hear him. Basically, he's like saying the F word a couple times out of anger and whatever. And then it made me realize, like, oh, these movies really don't have a lot of cursing. Or like these are like PG-13 movies with just a twinge more violence that puts them over the edge.
Yes.
They're surprisingly, they don't lean into their R rating.
Yeah, I mean, Die Hard, it feels like every other word is the F word.
It revels. It celebrates it. It celebrates its R rating. Yeah.
This is not that. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but this is probably the most sexual we get of all three.
Yeah. Like I said,
I was like, I could have said it at a better time. Yeah,
just some humping all over the place.
I just would seriously love to see that shot again, but with you and I in the background, like,
I feel bad for the jizzmopper who's got to go into this cave afterwards. Like some guy in overalls,
He's like, so what's on the agenda for this week? Like, oh, you didn't hear there's another rave this Friday? And he's like, oh, damn it, son of a. All right. Better order some gloves.
He's got this mop and bucket. Just like cussing as he's pushing this mop.
See, that's the post-credit scene. Like the sort of Raiders of the Lost Ark of the big warehouse. But it's like this cave all empty and him like, oh, jeez. It's all echoey.
Oh, God. I mean, you have to imagine, right? Yeah, I mean, we don't see it, but people are just hosing down the walls with DNA.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying not to wheeze into the microphone. Matrix Reloaded.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
So Karl Popper, by the way, is the name of the philosopher you were alluding to. So you were correct on that score.
Cool. But you know what? I got to say, too, I really buy the chemistry between these two here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Carrie Moss and Keanu Reeves, yeah. I think they dated in real life, didn't they, for a short time?
Is that right?
Well, I think, yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I love all the, the whatever along their spines and the, the way they were connected in their pods, and now they just have to have
that's
these
just
all over their bodies.
Part of who they are now. Yeah.
Just cool details. Yeah, I love this scene.
Yeah, I think so. So this is post rave. And you kind of say to yourself, I don't know, this is me when I watch it, I'm like, who am I in Zion?
Yeah.
I'm the guy pushing the mop, probably.
I know.
So this whole storyline here with
Yes.
Smith, Smith too frees himself from the Matrix, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was another thing that when you view this film in isolation, you don't really have a clear idea of what his deal is.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was another thing people had a hard time with.
Tracking his motivation.
Yeah, like because it doesn't really become clear until the third one, I don't think, that he is a malevolent force that is against both man and machine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of like, what's his deal? Why is he different?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it is so important to view the second and third film together. I don't think you can decouple them.
Yeah, sure.
I also think, the third film came out very shortly after this one. Right. So this was May, I think. And then that was November.
Okay.
I think it was within a few months.
Yeah.
And I think about how coming out so soon probably hindered its box office a little bit because people felt kind of burned from this one. There wasn't enough time to build up anticipation.
Right.
But the other thought I have is maybe that ended up working in the movie's favor because you can imagine the notes.
Right.
You got to change this. You got to change it before that third one comes out.
Right. Yeah.
Like even if it was, like Back to the Future 2 and 3 were roughly a year apart, I think, right? I think they were closer to 6 months apart.
It was like
right?
November to May or something.
Okay,
right?
so that's like 6 months, right?
Yeah.
But let's say it was a year, like Lord of the Rings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that would be enough time, even though if it was already shot, the third one, the studio would be like, well, maybe, they'd get their fingers in it.
Yeah.
And it would weaken whatever story the Wachowskis were trying to tell,
Mm-hmm.
So this right here, this conversation with Counselor Hammond, one of the theories I've seen is that he is a previous one. And I tend to discount fan theories, but I kind of like that one.
It's a fun headcanon, yeah.
Yeah. Because he does feel a little bit like Neo would be when he's older,
Mm-hmm. Kind of wizened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it's almost like he's telling him things that are going to be important. Like, it's not like the machines are all bad. Like, it's almost like he's trying to widen his understanding a little bit,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Even aesthetically, when I was rewatching this, I felt like this was something I would do if I lived there. I could see myself wanting to go down and watch the inner machinery by myself sometime.
Right.
And almost like their weird version of like going to the beach, or like, or the ocean, you know what I mean? Like some sort of sickening but soothing sounds, but it's just an escape from the hubbub of everything else.
See, what I think about is if you're living underground like this, I mean, how are the people there maintaining such a healthy pallor without being exposed to the sun and
Sure.
stuff, that's so important. Like, I feel like that's something that's never really addressed.
That's funny.
Like they shouldn't look this healthy.
Yeah.
What are they eating? What's
well, they're eating that snot, remember?
In the Matrix. So is that what it is? No. Outside you're right. Outside. So that's it. That's all they eat.
Well, that I don't know, but I just remember in the first one, that's what they
You're right. Yeah,
you got this goop, and it gives you all the essential protein.
That's right.
He's like, I pretend it's tasty wheat.
I gotta say, I'm with Cypher, man. Just plug me in.
I hate to say it, but I 100% agree. Give me a steak and make me an actor.
I don't know if that makes me a bad person, but
I don't either.
I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah. What's interesting too is I was looking up just interviews and things people had done on this, but the DP on this, Bill Pope, I guess he was on a podcast, and he was saying that they were feeling a lot of pressure on this one, and he felt like it affected the film itself, and to him, it's visible in the movie, and I wish he would elaborate because I don't entirely understand what he means. Maybe he means overthinking or whatnot. But it's interesting that they were feeling it during the making of it, even
because the first one went out like a bullet, and then
well, and they had no scrutiny. They got to tell whatever they wanted to tell, and it just happened to completely land for everybody.
Yeah.
But he says, there's a lot of pressure, and in my heart, I didn't like them. So
really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's the pain is temporary, film is forever, right? And so when we watch the Matrix sequels now, we don't think of them as the Matrix sequels. They are the Matrix trilogy. It's all one.
Sure.
And so the people like us who watched them as they came out view them very differently than the people who've watched them since.
Sure.
Because there isn't that built-up expectation. There isn't that, they're going to do this or they're going to do that. I remember, there's a scene later on where Neo meets the Oracle. And she's like, whenever there's a monsters or vampires or whatever, like that's just the Matrix. Like that's programs that are screwing around or whatever she says. I will get to it, right? And I remember reading an interview, not an interview. I read Harry Knowles' review. Do you remember this?
I'm not sure.
Of this film.
Yeah.
And as soon as I say that, you're like, oh god.
I was like, oh no, it's gonna be so gross. Yeah.
He's like, when the Oracle says about monsters and vampires, that's what I want to see. I want to see Neo fighting monsters and werewolves and stuff. And I'm like, really?
Yeah, I know.
That was your concept of the Matrix 2? Really?
That's really funny.
Right? So my point is everyone went in with their own bag of expectations.
Yeah.
Some stupider than others, clearly.
Yeah, I don't know where he's coming from with that, but which, by the way, okay, so the guy, who's been taken over, he's like running a knife along his palm. That is one of my hugest, I wouldn't call pet peeves, but things I hate in movies. I hate scenes where people do that to their palms because there was just a trailer I just saw the other day and someone did it. And I was like, why? Because I think, dude, that's not going to heal overnight. Like that's really vulnerable and you need your hand and it really feels like it would hurt. I just do not understand why people do that.
Well, at least makes some sense in this context.
Yes.
Because it's the first time Smith is experiencing what humans experience.
Yes. Yeah. I think it's very visual, cinematic, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. But it's like, just, I don't know, go higher up your arm or something.
Or just don't do it at all.
Yeah. Don't do it at all. Exactly. Yeah. Go a more fleshy bit. I don't know.
Just like tickle yourself. You're still feeling something.
It's like, so that's what this is all about.
Yeah. You're feeling,
Yeah. That's funny.
Now the green tint inside inside the Matrix, that was added to the aesthetic of this movie.
Right.
And then
first movie did not have that, right?
Did not. And then they went back and they color corrected it.
Mm-hmm.
So it has that now.
Yeah.
So this character, Seraph, the role was originally offered to Jet Li.
Yeah. That was interesting.
He did not want his martial arts digitally mapped.
Okay.
And that's why he refused to do it.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, I think there's a scene at some point where you see like it from the digital perspective.
Oh, okay.
Which to me feels like a weird thing to get hung up about. Whatever, I'm not Jet Li. But that was the reason he didn't do it. I mean, this Joel Silver produced these, right? And he had previously worked with Jet Li on a couple different things.
Mm-hmm.
So there was already a relationship there. I mean, Lethal Weapon 4, and then what was that movie with Aaliyah? You know what I'm talking about? Romeo Must Die.
Yeah.
Romeo Must Die. So there was precedent for it, and one presumes that if it was Jet Li, the role might have been slightly bigger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder. I mean, yeah. I mean, if they're getting Jet Li for it, you wonder if maybe he would have played more into this.
Yeah. You got to give it up to Keanu Reeves. I mean, that's him doing this stuff, and you don't just get like that.
Yeah, it is just wild to think that. I mean, there's fantastic direction, fantastic editing, and whatnot, but they really put in the work.
Yeah.
To be able to be in these unbroken wide shots doing a lot of this stuff. I mean, that's commitment. That must be, painful.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I was reading about injuries. I think Carrie-Anne Moss broke her leg. Lawrence Fishburne hurt his arm. Hugo Weaving hurt his neck. I mean, it's, they're really,
it's no joke.
They're actors, but it's like they're really putting themselves out there and setting themselves up for potential injury.
I mean, the martial arts sequences, you're watching the actual actors doing it, and there's just you can't fake that.
Yeah. A lot of like doorways and key imagery and whatnot in this in there.
And oh, so many metaphors and metaphorical aphorisms that all the characters are saying.
Yes.
like you said earlier, I'm the key if you choose to be the key.
Yeah.
To see the key. The door you enter is the door you wish to leave. What?
So true. Yeah.
So Gloria Foster, who plays the Oracle, she shot her portion of this one, but she passed away before she could complete it.
Right.
But I think the way in which they incorporate the change to actress is actually kind of genius in terms of sort of making the best out of a difficult situation.
Yeah. I mean, we're in a world where you can sort of explain something like that, recasting. This is great. All the Oracle scenes are really nice. I mean, for as much as I'm saying a lot of this movie is sort of like, I don't want to call it babble, but it's like, it can become that. Like you can sort of have your eyes go crossed and just hear sounds until you, the scene's over. But I think she does a really good job of playing this interesting grandmotherly type. And so you are really leaning in and listening to everything she's saying,
That's right. Well, and right away, right here, we find out she's a program.
Mm-hmm.
So you talk about subverting expectations, right? I mean, I don't think anyone who watched the first film thought that about the Oracle.
Yeah.
So right away, you're like, well, if that's the case, and she's clearly benevolent, then that calls into question so many of our presumptions about the nature of this conflict.
Right.
As I alluded to earlier with the Second Renaissance, you watch that and you're like, okay, well, clearly not to say that the the human beings had it coming or whatever, but the machines are coming at it from a particular perspective that has validity,
like pushing back.
But pushing back, and so then as we carry it forward, we realize, well, this is not Star Wars, where it's rebels versus Empire.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people were expecting that after the first movie. I think people were expecting some version of the Death Star blowing up.
Sure.
And the Wachowskis, to their credit, said, well, we don't want to tell that story.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And people, not necessarily even wrongly, were like, but that's the story I want. And so that's what these sequels are about. It's this process of negotiation between the artist's intent and the audience's expectations.
Yeah.
And once you find out, because all the clues are here, all the clues are laid out, like this is not going to go the way you think.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be okay with it or you're not.
Yeah.
And so I think the immediate pushback was that. It was, well, this isn't what I wanted. And in that sense, I draw a parallel between the way people reacted to these films and the way people reacted to Star Wars prequels. Because the biggest complaint from our generation to those prequels is that's not the way I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's not what I expected it to be. Right? I mean,
yeah.
Because kids today who watch those, it just washes over them.
Right.
They're just like, well, whatever. That's what Anakin's a kid. Sure,
right.
that's what
they all
the movie
exist,
said.
and I am watching.
Yeah,
yeah,
right. So I think very similar, and I think it's ironic because I think people before the second Matrix came out were like, oh, the Matrix now is like the new Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And in an even shorter amount of time, the fans became just as big assholes.
Sure.
It took 4 years just become just insufferable.
That's really funny. It's just a story that keeps repeating itself.
Yeah, the entitlement of fandom.
You know what I love though, even though I do have my nitpicks with these movies, is that I'm looking at the budget here. It's $150 million. I love that the Wachowskis were able to make a $150 million blockbuster and do exactly what they wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, as we, with that quote from the DP, they felt pressure on this one and expectation. And you've got to wonder how the studio felt about this script. Where did they have like, well, did they think there needs to be a Death Star? And it's just so cool, as far as I understand it, that they were able to tell the story they wanted to tell, like it or not. Like, I think it's really cool that they were able to, it seemingly preserved their vision. How unique is that? And
arguably, that was their one opportunity to be able to exert that kind of control.
Mm-hmm.
Because
after the success of the first one,
exactly, to be able to say we got 2 movies, we have a trilogy. This is we want to do them at once, and Warner Brothers is like, okay, right? I'm curious the process that the new film, what if anything, Lana Wachowski had to give up. Because I can't imagine after Speed Racer and after that other one with Channing Tatum, what was that?
Oh, Jupiter Ascending?
I think Jupiter Ascending, yeah. After those were disastrous.
Sure.
So the Wachowskis will never again get a blank check.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm curious. I have no idea, but I'm curious what compromises had to be made in order for that movie to exist. And
wait, which one?
The new one.
The new one. Yeah. Yeah, that's and then Cloud Atlas, right? That was
yes.
I liked Cloud Atlas.
Which that was produced, or was that co-directed with Tequer? Like, I forget how.
I think I'm fairly certain. Yes. At least they all wrote it together.
Okay.
But yeah, Jupiter Ascending, again, I'll show up for anything the Wachowskis do because I think they're incredibly interesting. But Jupiter Ascending did not land for me.
Jupiter Ascending, about a third of the way through, I threw my hands in the air. It's just like, what is this?
Yeah.
And it's a shame because
I'll show up.
I was there. I saw it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this right here, the Burly Brawl.
This was I imagine was in the trailer. I remember that in the trailer.
Yes.
With the crows. This was the much touted about scene, right, where he was going to fight a bunch of Mr. Smiths or whatever, Agent Smiths.
Yeah.
And they also were bragging about this new revolutionary technology, right, that they had just sort of, I don't know if they invented, but they were capitalizing on. And it was, we're going to have digital people and you won't know the difference.
Which, again, maybe the reach exceeded the grasp a little bit there.
Perhaps. But you know what? Is probably a step to where we are now, so that's great. But yeah, there's a couple shots in here where like that is the, that's the animated guy, and it sort of looks like a PlayStation 3, cutscene kind of thing.
Yes. Now that said, before we even get into the fight, the dialogue here is pretty crucial because it's setting up the binary, sort of the ideological divide within this film, right?
Yeah.
Does purpose equal choice, or does choice create purpose? And that's the essential question, right? Like Smith's whole he's coming to grips with that idea of like, well, who am I? I exist, but I'm not part of the system anymore. So what am I? Right? And that is what Neo is grappling with too. What is my purpose?
Right.
So they are true opposite numbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, I love everybody in this movie, but what is The Matrix without Hugo Weaving?
Yeah.
He adds so much to this this character.
Yeah, in the trailer for the new one, we have Jonathan Groff playing what I assume is like a reincarnation of Smith, and there's that. I'm sure he's fine, right? But I'm just like, yeah, but it's not. Oh, it's not Hugo.
Yeah, the voice and the manner of speaking, the cadence and the quirk and it's delicious.
Right?
It's such a delicious character.
I mean, he made a choice about how to embody the character in terms of the accent and stuff, and it's so distinct. It's just one of the great iconic movie villains.
Yep. No. This was definitely, I mean, when this came out on DVD, I remember going to Best Buy to get it opening day just because I wanted to watch this fight again, The
action sequence in the middle is I don't even know how many times the staircase through the freeway through. I mean, it's like a good 10, 12 minute thing,
Yeah.
Unquestionably, the action high point of the movie is there in the middle, and I think in a sense it almost does the movie a disservice because nothing until the end really measures up to that action wise.
Yeah. You know what I love about this too, though, is the choreography. I mean, him handling all these dudes, right, is just so well executed and fun.
Yep.
I mean, that'd be really hard to stage all of this stuff. Like how is it not just all of them coming at once? They find like a really good way to block and stage all of the.
And I would say the fight is pretty, like, it looks pretty good up until a certain point. Then it turns into a cutscene.
Yes.
Like all of this I'm tracking with.
I love this. Yeah.
Yeah. It does go on probably a couple minutes longer than it needs to.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
you know what? Yeah, I ain't mad at it. I even watching it now, I'm still enjoying it. I just saw it again recently. Like it's in the music. I can hear the music too, the ramping up.
So this is important.
Yes.
We've seen Smith absorb people, but we haven't seen him absorb another agent.
Right. Me. Me too. I love this stuff too. This is a tomato. That's the fun stuff that they do too.
Yep.
I mean, I gotta say, just sort of the OCD-ness of my brain also visually. Like I don't like sitting too close to the screen in the theater because I want to see all four corners of the frame.
Mm-hmm.
And every shot in here is so intentional, where they cut off the tops and bottoms of people and, even the escalating tension in their conversation before this fight, where Smith is taking up the majority of the left side of the frame and Neo is seen on the right because he's honing in on him. And it's, that's why I think I'll never get tired of watching these things on top of everything else. They're just so fun to look at.
I totally agree. Yeah. I mean, as I was talking about earlier, there's right here is where it starts turning into PS3 territory.
You know what it is too? It's like the limbs don't move correctly.
That's right.
It's not terrible, and it's kind of a waxy face and whatnot. I mean, obviously we're critiquing technology as 20 years old, but like,
right here when he starts spinning this thing around.
Yes.
Coming up in just a second when he's like super speed spinning.
Yeah.
You're like, oh no, that's definitely not him. Yeah.
And then,
right here.
Yeah.
I do like how in this one they've given him this kind of uniform, Neo.
Yeah.
That kind of vaguely superhero-ish.
Mm-hmm.
With the way the trench coat flares out at the bottom like that.
Yeah.
But he also the collar he almost looks like a priest.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it's interesting you say it. It's sort of like Luke. The top is like Luke, Return of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bottom is sort of superhero. I mean, this is great.
So clearly, I mean, the idea here is already at this early stage, Smith is taking over the Matrix, even though we don't realize that's what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And already Neo isn't a match for him.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, I mean, as with any of these things, right, it's like you have to set up. Neo is the only Superman in the Matrix.
Right.
So, he has to have something to defeat that presents a challenge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I remember at one point. Yeah, here we go. At one point, I think he throws one Smith onto a bunch of them, and there's like the sound of bowling pins being hit.
That's really funny.
But yeah, he's like, all right, enough of this. He's doing his Superman thing.
See, I think what I find interesting is that central question of predestination, which this story exists within, right? And Morpheus talks about the prophecy and all this, and there's that sense of like this, it's been foretold that this is going to happen, right? And when you think about it, I mean, if you subscribe to a Gnostic worldview where you believe in those concepts, then that's something that you grapple with, right? Like if you, regardless of the specific religion, right? If you believe that you're going to go to heaven or hell, and that God already knows that, God knows where you are going to go, right?
Sure.
But you choose where you're going to go,
right?
So you end up wherever you're going to go. You go based on your choices, but God already knows where you're going to go. Well, how do you square that, right?
Right.
That's a conundrum. And people find different ways of working through that. But that's the essential question that Neo is trying to work through. Like, what choices am I making that make me end up where I go? And is that the right choice? Clearly somebody knows where I'm supposed to end up, but I don't know. And I don't know what I'm supposed to choose that Kate takes me there,
Right.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Yeah. So we were talking about philosophers earlier. We have Cornel West here coming up.
Yeah,
one of the council members. He's obviously a a very well-known philosopher. Not only that, he actually did one of the commentary tracks for these films.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, quite an interesting person. Right there. In fact, there he is.
Yeah.
The person who's talking.
Have you listened to the commentaries for this?
I did. Yeah, when the films were first released on DVD as a trilogy, they came out with the ultimate box set, which I think is what I got you.
Mm-hmm.
I just drank it all up.
Mm-hmm.
I think I may have mentioned this. I watched the second film and I was it just didn't leave much of a mark on me. I didn't even bother watching the third one.
Wow. Yeah. I'm such a completist, I guess, or like I have to.
I do remember somebody telling me, "Oh my God, the third one was so bad." Right?
So it didn't help.
And
yeah, I'll
and
get to it.
yeah, so it was literally that. It was like, all right, well, I'll watch it when I watch it. And then late 2004, for Christmas, they came out with the Ultimate Matrix box set, and it was everything. It was the movies, it was the Animatrix, it was all the behind the scenes, it was the video game stuff, everything, plus all the commentaries and everything. And I'm like, well, let's do this, you know. And I spent probably a week or two just mainlining everything in those discs.
Sure.
And by the end, I was a believer.
Yeah. Actually, I think that's why you bought it for me, right? Because you were talking about, the sequels were better than people were saying that they were, and you're like, here, give it another shot. And then I think, that's why you bought me the set.
Wow. That sounds about right, actually, because I would have got it for your birthday in March. Right? I got it in like December, and then a few months later for your birthday.
Yeah. Man, I we're busy these days, and it's hard to fit in many extra things in addition to the things that we just try to make time for. But like DVD or like director's commentaries.
I know.
I love director's commentaries.
I and you know this. I've spent the last several years just tracking down audio rips of commentary tracks.
Yes.
Just so I can have them, Because
they're not on the streaming services.
That's right.
Right? Which is kind of if they exist, why not?
Yeah, with rare exceptions, new releases don't come with commentaries, with rare exceptions. And so a lot of this stuff is just lost to the ages,
Yeah.
Which is just such a darn shame. So just recently I listened to Roger Ebert talking through Casablanca.
What's that like?
It's great.
He did Citizen Kane also, I know, and I haven't heard either.
Yeah, he also did a track for Dark City.
Right.
Speaking of the Matrix, very similar.
Yeah, I think in the original, the rooftop set from the opening.
That's right, same
from Dark City.
Yeah. They just because they both shot in Australia around the same time. So they just repurposed their sets. So the Merovingian, he's a nice guy.
Maybe people weren't prepared for all these quirky characters.
I think so.
Also,
and I think, to me, there's no reason to do another chapter unless you expand the palette a little bit.
Agreed.
Like, do we just want to see the same thing again?
Right.
Like a James Bond movie where you like hit certain touchstones and you tell a version of the same thing again and again, right? That's less interesting, but you can see how it would be controversial. With The Empire Strikes Back, I know it was not immediately beloved when it first came out,
right?
Precisely because of, it was doing a lot of the same stuff this does,
right.
It throws a bunch of barricades in front of your main characters. It makes you question certain things, There's no Death Star exploding.
Right, yeah, like you were saying about touchstones,
Yeah. Creates
new ones.
Yeah. And yet now, no one would argue that Empire Strikes Back is not a great movie. Not to say that this is as flawless a thing as the Empire
No, I
Strikes
understand
Back.
what you're saying. No, I'm just kidding.
See, I totally missed all of this. I had no idea. I slept through Monica Bellucci,
That's so funny. Oh, so you missed the staircase thing. I think we've said before, I think that's one of my favorite fights in the whole series.
I believe it was one of those things where I was like, I opened my eyes briefly and then I dozed off again, and then
Yeah.
I was definitely there for the freeway chase. I remember that, but the stairway, I was like, I was in and out. And again, I'm going to blame the fact that it was a midnight show, which
I was just gonna say, yeah.
Thank God we don't do those anymore.
That's exactly where I was going. There's something fun and nostalgic about, it comes out at the stroke of midnight. You can finally watch the thing you're looking forward to seeing, but like, forget that, man. Like that's insane. Like I remember back in college days, I wasn't there for this, but I was at Denny's at like 3 a.m. or something, and these people started spilling in from seeing Lord of the Rings, and I was like, wow. Like it's so, those movies are so long. It's just, I don't know. I think the last near midnight movie I saw was Munich, and I don't remember half that movie, which is kind of tragedy.
Okay.
But I'm so glad we have this now, like Thursday 8 p.m. thing. You know,
it's so funny because Spider-Man Far From Home, I think it's going to start at like 4 or something. You know,
yeah.
Or sorry, No Way Home, the new one.
Right.
See, but the Merovingian does serve a purpose here because, again, he acts very human inside the Matrix, right? So the Matrix, rather than being a tool for oppression, which is what the first movie conditioned us for,
right?
What we realize is, well, the Matrix is like Rick's Cafe American. If you'll follow the Casablanca metaphor, it's where you got the French are here, the Germans are here, but inside Rick's, everybody's just doing their thing.
Right.
So in other words, it's a vehicle for dialogue to exist. As she's like,
I was just gonna,
or that, you know.
I love like pow, explosion. That must be interesting to, you get cast in the Matrix, or like basically you're going to eat a piece of chocolate cake and orgasm.
Yeah.
And
and you have a 3-picture deal related to that. So.
Right. Take 15.
See, in the first film, the only representatives of the Matrix we saw were the agents.
Right. Not these sort of wily characters.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right. So,
and they're very robotic, very computer-like.
That's exactly. And why is that? Because that is their purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so it stands to reason that if the Matrix allows for this, the Merovingian, who's sort of like, he's like a mob boss.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a program. How do we square that?
Right.
Unless the machines are not as machine-like as we think.
Mm-hmm. Which I guess would make sense when you talk about the, where they made their own country and they have.
That's right.
They just kind of want a place that's their own. I mean, they could have more personality than we would think of.
Yeah, there's a scene in the Second Renaissance where after they've established their country, where you have 2 representatives of the machine country, they come to the UN and they're robots, but they're dressed in like human clothes.
You're bringing this all back. When you say that, I remember the imagery.
Yeah, and the gathered assembly members are like, no, get them out,
Mm-hmm.
And then when the machines take over, they come back to the UN, but now they have no need to appear human. And they look weird, like insect-like, and they just blow up the UN because they're like, well, we don't need this anymore.
Right. Yeah, I definitely got to cue those up.
So don't cuss at Alexa is the message.
Yeah. Be nice. So now what is she as a program?
What do you think she is?
I don't know. Brilliant. I wasn't even expecting you to know. I don't know. I'm asking.
Well, Persephone, I mean the goddess Persephone is the wife of Hades. Hades is the guardian of the underworld, right?
Yeah.
So if we play that metaphor further,
Mm-hmm.
that makes Merovingian's role pretty clear.
Right.
But Persephone is the daughter of Zeus.
Hmm.
Right.
She just wants to be loved again.
She just wants to kiss Keanu Reeves. Can you blame her, Brian?
But I can see where this, you're watching this movie and you're sort of like, what?
Yeah. I mean, if you go into this expecting the sis boom ba of the fight scene and this and that, then all of this, these are all the potholes.
I mean, this almost feels fairy tale like, or mythology, I guess. Like, you must kiss me to pass this gate, kind of a thing.
Well, and when she's a program, and yet she wants to kiss Neo, right? Mm-hmm. Because in the world of the Matrix, those barriers break down. Mm. So it's not as clear cut.
Right.
We see it in the third film, right, where that the Indian family.
Yes, we just saw the father.
Right.
Very, very briefly being taken
very
out
briefly, because the Merovingian's going to get him out, right? And he says, I love my daughter. She's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. And he said, well, how can, you're a program. How can you, that doesn't make any sense. If programs can feel love, then what we established earlier is human beings' passion is what makes them human. Mm-hmm. Well, if machines have passion,
right,
then what are we fighting against, right?
Right.
That whole idea of subverting expectations, people don't like having their expectations subverted. We see that again and again.
Yeah. I love that shot of her, by the way, looking over the shoulder with the light splashed across her eyes, kind of like a vampire. Look at all that's going on, too. You almost take it for granted in just that one shot.
Yeah.
You have the flame go here, and
right.
These movies are just so composed, right? I mean, this isn't original thought, not an original thought, but it's almost like a comic book, right? Where it's just every frame is so purposefully composed.
Well, and that's why they had comic book artists do the storyboards.
Completely makes sense. Yeah.
There was a whole book, like The Art of the Matrix, which came out after the first film, where they just printed all the storyboards, and they're by artists like Steve Scrose and Paul Chadwick, and these are like well-known comic book artists. Mm-hmm. And you can see how the framing is so very specific to that. I mean, the Wachowskis wrote comics for Marvel in the 90s.
Oh, yeah? I don't know if I knew that. What specifically?
Well, I know, I think it's called like Kid something. There was a line, there was like a sub line that Marvel had called Razor Line. Mm-hmm. That was a line of characters created by Clive Barker.
Oh, interesting.
And one of those comic books was written by the Wachowskis.
Huh.
Let me see if I can look that up, actually, what it was.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Makes sense. I've never seen Bound, by the way. Have you ever seen Bound?
I saw it a long time ago.
Yeah. I wonder, because I know it's a very different type of story, but I wonder if visually you would recognize sort of a voice.
I should revisit it.
Yeah.
I should. The comic book, by the way, is called Ecto Kid.
Oh, okay.
And it was, both Wachowskis co-wrote it. Mm-hmm. So this is from 1993-94.
Cool.
So here we go. Yeah, I love this whole fight sequence.
Oh man, so good. I mean, all of it. The location is interesting. The music is so good. Maybe my favorite fight track,
right,
in all of the movies, and it has this sort of ramping up, sort of feeling to it. So it just gets you're like clenching tighter and tighter as you watch, and
yeah,
the perfectly executed. We were seeing earlier in the Burly Brawl, they break up the fight. I think maybe just to allow you to exhale a couple times, they'll put some slow motion in there.
Right.
And they do that in this one also, but it lets you exhale, but it's also beautiful. I mean, when you see the whole staircase and you see three people in different positions in the air leaping from one place to another, it's like you want it to slow down so you can drink it in.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I think this fight sequence works more for me than the Burly Brawl because it is contained.
Sure. Yeah.
And it is real people. They're on wires and whatever, but you're still watching real people flying hither and thither and, actually fighting with each other.
Yeah, it's fantastical and tactile.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Love this. Bullets are nothing to this man now.
I know. You are like the buzzing of flies to him. That's from Ghostbusters 2. So Lambert Wilson, who played the Merovingian, he right around the same time he also played the villain in Catwoman.
Oh, which I've never seen. I mean, yeah.
it's not a hole in your film knowledge.
Yeah.
But pretty much he has like one type of character when he's in American movies, it feels like. It's like the smarmy French guy.
Right. You know what I think these movies do really well also? Is mace to the face. Is the editing.
Yes.
I mean, I think when you watch a movie where they don't quite, it's not as purposeful, like the choreography, even between camera and action.
Yeah.
And so when they land, it looks silly, right? But this knows exactly where to cut and when to cut to another angle for him to land to sell all of the crazy acrobatics.
That's totally true. Yeah.
I love that moment too. The blood. You see, he's just
great.
a man.
Yep. Yeah, man. I can hear the music.
Me
here.
too.
Like, I've seen this so many times. This entire sequence.
Yeah. Is this an original? I mean, is this by the composer or is this a song? I don't know.
Oh, you know what? I've never thought about it.
Because it sounds like it could be from the composer, doesn't it? With all the horns and everything.
Yes. That is a good question. This is Don S. Davis did the music for these.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic scores.
Or not Don S. Davis, right? Just Don Davis.
Don
S. Davis is an actor.
I think this is it. Right? We do the white. Yeah. Oh, like a Renaissance painting from space.
Great.
It's so good. Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely the one I go back in the DVD days and just watch this over and over.
See, I think in terms of the fight sequences, you know what's funny is I probably revisit, in terms of just like watching scenes, I probably revisit the first one the least.
Interesting.
Like if I'm going to watch the whole movie, I'll watch them all. But like if just like putting something on, I watch this entire sequence here or the super burly brawl in the third one.
You know what? That makes sense because the first one, as awesome as it is, and I wouldn't change a thing, is it's more story driven. The action, right? So it's like you kind of have to watch about 20 minutes of it to get through all of it, like the chopper with the minigun and but these are set pieces for sure.
That's right.
This is so great. It reminds me going back maybe like a minute and a half when he's at the top of the staircase and then you see that guy clearly on wires, but it looks awesome. Like leap over the banister and join him and the camera captures all of it and it doesn't cut. It just keeps following him. And I think this is like broken record time, but like, it seems like nowadays with action, people just cover it and then they find it in editing,
yeah, right.
And maybe it doesn't even look that impressive from a distance. Right. And so they just kind of get in their face and do a lot of cuts and think that will make us excited. But like, there's something like, wow, you lose the wow factor.
Yep.
When you can do the wide, I just saw Steven Spielberg's West Side Story.
Right.
And he, obviously, I mean, it's tons of choreography and a lot of people synchronized, and he just uses so many wide shots where you go, wow, just looking at everything that's going on in the frame. And I wish more people did that.
Yeah.
I remember also when this movie was coming out, it had a lot of like the character posters. So you had these two brothers and you're like, who are these guys? And I got to say, they never quite landed with me.
Yeah, it's just kind of, okay.
I think this doesn't help this sort of CGI jumpiness. I think it's cool that they can, I don't know, turn to vapor and then appear somewhere else. That's interesting, but it doesn't look great.
Right.
Maybe that doesn't help. I don't know.
No, I think you're right. They're not given a ton to. As far as I know, we don't see them again.
Right.
Beyond this action sequence, right? I think.
Right. Although
yeah. No, that's all.
Well, I was gonna say the moment with them in the car where there's that tight quarters sort of thing, with the razor and the.
Anytime you have a straight razor, I get freaked out.
Yeah, I start cringing.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, but I love that tight quarters fight coming up.
Yes.
It's very cool. I was looking through my notes again and I saw that I guess the Burley Brawl took 27 days to shoot.
Damn.
Can you imagine?
Oh my God.
I mean, it's like if it was like you and I and we wanted to make a little quick movie together, we would go to a rooftop with our iPhones and we would just and then move it over here and move it over there. We just think about all the lights and all the wires and the whatever, and it's like you've really got to believe in what you're doing. You know what I mean? And like know that this is going to add up to something amazing, and it's just so much patience and commitment. I mean, it's astounding.
That's pretty nuts.
Yeah. Let alone what we're coming up on here with this freeway chase, which man, I don't even know. I think I saw somewhere it was at least 40 days.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many moving parts, no pun intended, in terms of not merely the logistics, but it's a shot across multiple cities.
Yes.
And you have to know, you have to be able to take that high level view and know how it's all going to come together.
Mm-hmm.
And no easy feat.
Yep. Yeah, this clearly in some sort of city or something. Or I don't know. No, yeah.
Well, I mean, part of it was shot right here in the Bay Area.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, this, I want to say it's like Ohio.
Okay. Where Avengers and things are done, right?
Oh, is that right?
Well, I know it's Atlanta.
That's like New Orleans, isn't it?
Or yeah. Actually, I don't know, but I know at least part of Avengers was done in Ohio.
In Ohio, really?
Yeah.
I know there's at one point they go through a tunnel, and that's like right here. There's an Alameda Oakland tunnel.
Mm.
They go through. I'll see if I can find it.
I mean, obviously this looks like real city. And then they get on the freeway, and then that's a freeway that they built.
They built several miles, I want to say.
Yeah, I think 1.4 miles.
Amazing.
Incredible. But I mean, obviously, I see it here now. It was almost 3 months to shoot, which is typically what a movie takes to shoot. An entire movie is 3 months.
Wow.
And you can't get a real stretch of freeway for that long, so you build one. But if you'll notice, there's like a wall along a lot of it, which I think makes it easier probably to CGI whatever background they want.
Now the stuff here where we have Niobe saying, "Oh, I need to find Morpheus." What's great is if you watch all the live action footage from the Enter the Matrix video game, you follow the story from her perspective.
Of this moment?
So like everything leading up to her calling Link, and then you see her, the stuff with the Oracle and all of that is all laid out in the video game.
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually go on YouTube and somebody has strung together all of that footage.
Oh wow!
And it's the secondary. It's not the Nebuchadnezzar crew. It's Niobe and those other characters, but it all feeds into this sort of meta narrative between these two movies.
Hmm.
And when I think about why I had such an overwhelmingly positive experience when I took in the sequels via that DVD set. I think that played into it, is because I was watching all of it.
Yeah.
And I was just able to appreciate all the way all these pieces connect in this really, you can say it's cynical or it's a cash grab, but I don't view it that way. I view it as the Wachowskis were like, let's use every piece of the buffalo, you know, to get the story out there. And it's so unique, you know?
I'm sure in breaking the story, they had all of it.
Yeah.
And then they were like, this is what we can use.
Right.
And I mean, this stuff's still good and instructive. So now that we have the outlets for these sorts of things, let's
put exactly. You know?
Yeah.
Like, why not?
Yeah. This feels very John Wicky, doesn't it?
It does.
Like this just sort of, I love this. This is so cool. Tighten the car is what I should, for people not watching along. Using the seat belts, and Trinity's fighting, but she's also driving.
And when you think about it, like from a storytelling point of view, they've moved Neo off the board completely.
Yeah,
like it's by design.
Yeah, good point.
Because otherwise, you don't have this action sequence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know.
Here we get another CGI guy. Right? He jumps on the hood of the car.
Yep, right. It's like pretty clearly not an actual guy. People, cars don't react that way when you jump on them, Brian. I don't know if you knew that.
That's great. Deesh.
Yeah.
So symmetrical. Right? All their framing. Which I love.
And I love that the green tint is so subtle that unless you're really looking for it, you're not going to notice it.
Haven't they played with it over the years? I feel like there was some edition that came out where it was very green, and then they scaled it back.
Yeah, I think the initial DVD release was greener than it is now. That's my sense.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. You know, I just saw even that there's like some 4K Godfather thing happening next year, and they're doing their little touch ups, and it's like, I don't know. For some certain classic films, it almost feels like they're always going to be touched.
I think for certainly with Coppola, what we've seen is he really does enjoy just going back and tinkering very much from that. I mean, you can see why him and George Lucas are part of that same group, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, I appreciate that he's not changing anything per se, but it is an interpretation, right? If you adjust the colors. And you look at, the Star Wars original trilogy, and, where Hoth has become suddenly blue, right? Where it used to be white. And it's just, I don't know, there's something about it that, like, makes me feel weird, because I'm like, well, which is the real one, Yeah. But yeah, I think the subtle green here is perfect.
Carrie-Anne Moss has talked about how she had to learn how to do all this, learning how to ride a motorcycle, and it's doing all. I mean, that's you have to imagine that there's a healthy level of performance anxiety when you're expected to do all this stuff,
Yeah. This is really cool. The samurai sorting the SUV. Now, I worked on a film. I'm sure most actors don't have this, but I worked on a film, and they put me in the movie for a very, very brief scene.
Okay.
And right before the camera rolled, I looked over and I saw the movie camera, which I've seen on behind the scenes my whole life. I saw the director. I was like, this movie's going to play in movie theaters around the world. And it's capturing what I'm going to do. And I got, like, in my head, I was like, so how am I going to do it? Like, am I going to walk? If I walk, like, you know what I mean? And so, and that was me. Literally what I did was walked up a set of stairs, and it's like,
that's so funny.
When you think of, like, Carrie-Anne Moss, like you're saying, and she learned how to ride a motorcycle, but she's also in character, and she wants to look cool. She's got to be composed because Trinity is composed, but she's also learned how to do this thing. So she's got to remember how to do it. Like, I wonder if they can just get out of their heads.
That's got to be challenging, I would imagine.
I guess that's what makes a great performer.
Right.
You know?
Jeez.
This stuff's great. I mean, you know what's interesting? I always love in movies when people have to go against the flow of traffic. I find it stressful and also really amazing, in terms of choreography and whatnot.
Yep.
But you got to imagine. Well, no, you don't have to imagine. I mean, it's true. Like a lot of these cars are CG cars, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny because I don't think you would really notice, other than the fact that the camera chooses to go beneath a few of them. And I was wondering what you thought about that, because in this era, I mean, David Fincher was doing that, right? Where he would go through the handle of a coffee pot,
Right.
and you'd be like, "What?" But then, as I was watching this, I was almost wishing that the camera wasn't going under the cars, because it felt more dangerous when I wasn't thinking, "Oh, well, then that's not a real truck.
That's not real."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's your thought?
No, I agree with that. You've articulated something I haven't necessarily put thinking into, but yeah, when the artificiality is so apparent,
right?
Because we're like, well, there's no way a camera can do that. Then it does unconsciously remove you from it. And to me, anyway, a movie like this really benefits from the action sequences seeming as real as possible, given that the totality of the story is so fanciful.
Right.
So you want the stakes to feel as close as you can,
Yeah. I mean, having said all that, I just rewatching it again. I mean, it only happens like 2 or 3 times.
I think it ruins the movie completely for me in hindsight.
Yeah.
You've brought it up.
Yeah. I don't even know why we're talking about it now.
Yeah.
But no, it looks really cool. I mean, it looks like she really is weaving through traffic and a lot of that. So it's kudos.
Now, this is Morpheus's one big action sequence in this movie.
Yeah.
And I almost feel like they gave him this to make up for him kind of going out like a punk in the first one.
Right. That's funny.
Because Smith kind of wipes the floor with him, but in this one, he goes toe to toe with an agent.
Yeah.
I view it as that's the effect that Neo has had, right? Neo proved that you can face off against an agent, and I think unconsciously the other people believe that they're capable of doing that. I mean, what did Morpheus say in the first one, right? Like, if you see, no, actually, he didn't say that. It was Cypher, right? You see an agent, you go in the other direction.
Right.
Right? That's what people believe.
You got to be impressed too with his physicality here. I don't know how old he is, but
Who, Lawrence Fishburne?
yeah, he's kicking some ass.
Yeah, let me look it up. How old was he in this? I think going back to what we were saying about Morpheus, when we watch the first movie, we look at him purely as the mentor figure. But I think as this movie shows, there are some cracks in what is and what he believes, right? And so in hindsight, he's a bit of an unreliable narrator.
Right.
Because everything he's teaching Neo is still through the prism of his certainty. And one thing I always say is, spare me somebody who's certain about anything.
Yeah. And that makes him interesting, where we can see these cracks.
That's right.
Now, like then he becomes a type rather than being right all the time.
That's right. So Lawrence Fishburne in this movie was aged 27. No, Now, he was actually, assuming they were shooting this in 2002, he's 42 in this.
Well, well, shit.
That's right.
That's funny. Gonna maybe look in the mirror more often than I do. No. I'd like to believe I could do this.
Sure,
months of training. Oh, by the way, again, I love the facts about this stuff. But I guess GM donated 300 cars for this movie, and it said all 300 were wrecked.
That's a nice tax write-off for them.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I wonder about that because it's not like any of the cars they donated are necessarily. You're not like, ooh, I want to buy the car from the Matrix.
Right.
So it doesn't seem like money well spent in that sense.
Yeah, or I wonder what they do think. Like if you see their logo, it'll just get in your head or something.
Like it's one thing because I think the Transformers cars are GM cars also.
Oh, okay.
Right, and that kind of makes sense.
Right.
Because you can market all them cars, all them makes.
Mm-hmm.
You can convince stupid people that your car is in fact Bumblebee.
It's funny. Oh, something else I was reading, speaking of all the extracurricular stuff tied to this movie, was the signs during this freeway chase.
Mm-hmm.
They had codes on them theatrically that were changed for home video, and they were cheat
that's
codes.
Interesting.
They were cheat codes for the video game.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
That's amazing.
So they kind of expected the devoted to go in there with a notepad and then find the codes within the films. Or within the, yeah.
See, I wonder, I do feel like time has been pretty kind to these sequels.
Mm-hmm.
I think with the distance of time, people tend to at least think they're fine,
And I wonder if this fourth film will bring even more people to go back and look at them. And
that's kind of what I was thinking. I'm like, is the anticipation that people have, it's because I'm sure you've seen it online. People are like, oh my God, this looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling sort of what they felt after seeing the first one.
Yeah.
One presumes that there will be a lot of people going back and rewatching the trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that for people who wrote them off, it's an opportunity to I was going to say rediscover, but just discover them,
I wonder if we're going to get a whole bunch of think pieces where it's like,
oh,
the Matrix
they're coming.
Aren't as bad as you think, and here's why that's important,
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, it's a coming. It's a coming.
Yeah. Here's why that matters.
Here's why
Yeah, this is our first view of the Sentinels, right?
In this film.
In this one, yeah. That looks like the chair from the first movie.
Yeah, that's right. It's if it's not meant to be the exact thing, then it's. I mean, I just kind of assumed it is. I thought that that's like the place in the Matrix, like their hideout.
Or their hideout, yeah. Or that got infiltrated, right? And that's where the kid got killed.
Yes, that's a good point. Well, no, wait, hold on. Because it was a different room, wasn't it? I'd have to go back and watch it.
I do like this. I always love in a movie where they're like, there's 5 alarms. You have to shut down 27 blocks. I love setting all that stuff up.
See, this too, when you really think about it, it's about how do we find business for all of our other characters while Neo is still part of the action.
Right.
So, because I think they even say, like, well, yeah, Neo could just do it. Yeah, but, well, Neo can't be in multiple places at once.
Mm-hmm.
So, we set it up that way.
Right.
I mean, when you think about it, it's basically like the rules of a video game he's laying out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The key maker.
So what do you need us for? Oh, let me tell you. You were born for this moment and this moment alone. Because this moment. Yeah.
See, that's the interesting thing. Because Morpheus, the totality of his identity is the prophecy.
Yes.
So it's like these people who think the rapture is going to happen.
Mm-hmm. And they have like a date and.
Yeah. Oh, we gotta, I've given up all my savings, whatever, because I gotta go up to the mountain because that raptor. Okay, well, what happens afterwards?
Mm-hmm.
Who are you after that? Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying Morpheus is like that.
Right.
But yeah, Morpheus is kind of like that.
Right.
I mean, I think the contrast that I alluded to earlier is very telling. That Neo is the person Morpheus's entire identity revolves around.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Neo is like, oh, okay, well, I guess. No, I'm not the one. Oh, okay. You know?
Right.
I do really like that the internal logic of the Matrix hangs together pretty well.
Yes. That's Bill Pope, by the way, the DP.
Oh, there you
Security
go.
guard.
And it's the look of disappointment on his face. I can see it.
Yeah. Sorry, anyway, I just want to point it out. No, sorry, continue.
That by the way, to the left there, that actor right there, that guy, that's Lee Wanell, the director.
Oh, really?
Who did Invisible Man and what's the oh god,
shoot, I know.
that AI movie, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Oh god, what is it?
I can't. my brain is.
It was so good. I really liked it too.
Was it a Blumhouse thing?
It was I don't know. Upgrade is the movie.
Oh, which you keep telling me to watch.
Yes, and it was Blumhouse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Upgrade is really good. You should watch it.
Cool.
I do like that the movie has set up this ticking clock. Like, we got to do all this because the squiddies are coming.
Yes.
And so by virtue of that, there is that sense of like, well, I think we as the audience are sort of conditioned to expect that their plan will succeed because that's what happens in these movies.
Right.
So then when it doesn't, we're sort of in the same place as Morpheus, where it's like, now what? But I think this is doing what middle movies should do.
Exactly.
Which is set up more despair. You know?
More stakes for the final rousing triumph.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which is itself somewhat disappointing for people who are expecting a triumph that was in fact rousing.
Right. I do. I mean, this is going to be dated pretty quickly, but I do wonder where they go in the fourth one.
I'm very curious. I will say this: the tint in the Matrix in the trailers is blue and not green, and I took note of that because I was like, see, because it's a different Matrix.
Yeah. That looked cool. Her sort of leapfrogging backwards over that guy.
I could do that.
I remember this Morpheus speech being in the trailer.
Yes, that's right.
This is a war.
Anyone want to switch seats with me?
Right. Oh, so Lee's the guy that gets...
Yep, right here. There he goes. Yep. Oof. Sucks to be those guys.
Yeah.
It's totally... It's this chain of events that sets them up for failure that they had no way of anticipating.
Yeah. Isn't that worth dying for?
See, that to me, again, that's what I find funny is like not everyone in Zion talks like Morpheus.
Yes. Yeah, that's kind of a funny. I didn't even think about that. You're a little surprised by how chill a lot of people are there.
Everyone's like, "Hey, what's up?" And he's like, "This is what I wish to do today."
Right. Tacos again?
Yeah.
Really? Of course it's tacos. It couldn't be any other way.
Could you imagine it in any other configuration? But it's, the fact that Neo has taken a promise from Trinity, you're not going to go.
Yeah. Yes.
And then just what happens, right? So it's the sense of predestination where you have no idea how you end up there.
Right.
It's like there's this story of this guy who he sees the angel of death, and he's so frightened that he takes off and he goes all the way to another country to escape the angel of death. And then a few days later, the angel of death shows up there.
Mm.
And the angel of death says, when I saw you a couple of days ago, I was wondering what you were doing there because I was supposed to be meeting you here in 2 days. And the only reason he ended up there is because he saw the angel of death.
Right.
That's how predestination works.
Right. Hey, man, I guess that's not your story. I was like, why don't you write your Matrix? You got
right. Pretty good. That's not mine. It's like a kind of a well-known story, certainly in like Islamic history. I've heard that story,
I like that. You know what job I wouldn't want?
What's that?
Links.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Zion Jizzmopper, but
let's presume I've worked up from that.
Now, why is that? Why would you not want to be the man in the chair?
I'm finding myself getting worse and worse at typing. I start typing faster and faster, and more and more words are being misspelled.
Okay.
And I've noticed this. I've thought about this very day, actually, this morning. And I'm thinking there's so much at stake with you being on top of typing. I don't know if I should be that guy.
But aren't you just like, I just assume you're like clicking on stuff.
That's true.
I mean, how much typing, right? You're not entering the code.
I don't know. I was watching him play with that keyboard there, and I was like, oof. Just having my experience from this morning.
If your options are, do that freeway thing that Trinity did, or sit in a chair and have some cocoa while you're watching code drop down the screen.
That's true.
I gotta be honest. I'm fine with doing what Link does.
Maybe I'll brush up on those programs where they time you.
I think you can hit backspace.
Yeah,
that's good.
I thought I read also with all these Smiths that a lot of them are people with masks on.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting.
And then they digitally added Hugo's face.
Yeah. Or maybe like spiffed it up a bit so it's not as rough, or I don't know. I read that this was a real hack too that she's doing, which I thought was kind of cool.
That's weirdly specific.
Yeah, like,
but
I respect these movies because they feel like the types of films that wouldn't settle for less. In terms of computer, right? When you see that famous, I think it's like CSI clip where they're being hacked and like 3 people are typing on one keyboard trying to stop the hack, which is like, what is going on? But you know what I mean? Like The Matrix feels like the type of film where it's like, no. I mean, if we say they're going to be doing something, we're going to show you this is how you'd really do it.
If we ever end up in a Matrix, this is something good to know, I guess.
Yeah. I would love to watch behind the scenes stuff of these films. I don't feel like I've really watched a lot of that.
Well,
I'm sure there's plenty of it on the DVDs and whatnot, but I don't know that I've really seen it.
It's worth giving a look.
Yeah, I'd love to just see all the process.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I mean, I remember seeing the first instance of the bullet time cameras and how those were all set up.
Yes.
And that's rather impressive.
Mm-hmm. I wonder even if that imagery is as well known as the film itself. That sort of green room with all the cameras.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. You will know which door.
See, the key, he says, this was my purpose, right?
Yes.
And I was thinking about that, like as a metaphor for life, when you think about it, in the sense of how we encounter people in our life, and not to say that they die like that, but people come into your life, and the older you get, this, like there will be certain people who all your life, and there's other people who they're part of your life for a little while. You get something meaningful from them, either positive or negative, and then they're gone. Mm-hmm. And that's what life is. It's a series of those encounters.
I worked with a gentleman at Houlihan's back in the day when I was a server. He was a manager, and one day he said to me, he's like, "Brian, I'm really glad you're a star in my constellation." I've never forgot it. I was like, that is one of the nicest things I think a person can say. You know what I mean? Because obviously your world is made up of stars, but certain people make up your constellation, and maybe some stars
Yeah.
are brighter or closer or whatnot, but just he's happy, part of the star map. And I was like, wow, that makes me think of that, right?
Yeah.
In different parts of our lives, that can mean different things.
Like, this is something that, again, as we get older, we recognize this, that it's just, you drift away from people.
Yeah.
And that's not because you've had a falling out or whatever. It's just that's what happens in life.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully you got something meaningful out of the time that you knew them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you'll always look back on that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we go. This scene. This scene is like the Rosetta Stone of understanding it all.
Uh-huh.
Because I think if you're watching this with, this is Palpatine laying out his evil plan,
right,
then you're not going to get it.
Right.
I think it's sort of genius to have him speak, the architect, in this very monotonous kind of way, but it's also the precise thing that turns people off.
Yeah, I was going to say this is almost, I thought what you were going to say is the litmus test if people are going to continue.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. I loved it from the first time I saw it. I just find this scene so riveting. I love the way he speaks because it demands that I listen to him. To me, otherwise I'm not going to understand anything.
Yeah. And I mean, he's laying it out, right? And it's one of those things where you gotta like pause it and restart it, and
yeah,
to really get everything he's saying.
Yeah. I mean, you can hear every word, but to understand what he's actually saying takes a couple of viewings, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's cool.
So that agent right there, Matt McComb,
yeah,
is who plays that. And he, a couple of years before this, he starred on a syndicated television series called Nightman, which is a Marvel comic television series.
Oh, okay.
And so for a while there, you might not remember this, but there was a while before the first Blade where Marvel failed at everything.
Right.
And so the Nightman television show got renewed for a second season, and just by virtue of that, it became the most successful Marvel property of that era.
Wow.
And then Blade came out, and nobody remembers Nightman. But for that brief window...
Wait, what did Nightman do?
Well, he was a man at night, I'm assuming. No, I have a hard time remembering, but he was involved in an accident that activated a part of his brain that he can hear people's evil thoughts. So if somebody's like, I'm going to kill that guy, like he can hear you thinking that, and he'll mess you up, and he has like a night suit or something. I don't know.
It's like it was like what women want.
It was kind of like that.
Yeah.
But less appealing. Yeah.
Right.
But that anyway.
That's
long
cool.
story short, that's the agent that Trinity was fighting there.
Yeah.
So the idea here, the architect is laying out that human beings are terrible.
Right.
Hard to dispute that. I got to say, I'm team architect right now.
Right. I love how, they tried to make a Matrix where everything was sunny and humans rejected it.
Yeah, exactly. So the idea is that what did he say? Like every X number of years, it comes up to the same exact point. All of humanity is wiped out except for 60 people that the One chooses. So that's the only role of the One in all this.
Right. Who himself is a consistent anomaly.
Yeah.
Right. Man, all this fighting just looks so good.
Right.
Like now, things look very floaty. I just feel like this is the perfect marriage of like wire work. I don't know what I'm saying. I was just really impressed by that last shot.
No, I think it works.
I mean, and I guess, again, for people who aren't watching along, Trinity is having her own problems in the hallway.
She's having a bad day.
She's having a bad day while Neo is talking to the architect.
So the architect is putting to Neo the choice that either you go down this door and you preserve at least a portion of humanity,
Mm-hmm.
or you follow your heart and all of humanity dies.
Right.
And that's the central choice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's if you ask me, it's no choice at all.
Right.
You let Trinity die, obviously. No, I'm just joking. I mean, that is a true dilemma.
Yeah.
Because the architect has laid it out. He's like, look, none of this stuff. It's all. There's no prophecy. This is the prophecy.
Right.
And given that the clock is ticking, he has to. His choice will determine what happens to humanity. I mean, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm. And I love that this has happened before.
Yes.
Right. The architect is like, oh, okay, here you are again. Right. And then at the end, I forget what he says, but when he says something like interesting, usually, what does he say? Like, I'm paying close attention to the captions because I can't remember what he says. Like he's like, oh, this one's different, kind of a line. I've forgotten what he says. But I read somewhere that Sean Connery was the original choice for this.
I read that he was offered this and also the role of Gandalf in the Lord of the Rings films, and he turned both of those down, which is why he landed on the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Because according to him, he was like, I don't understand this, and then he got that. He's like, I don't understand this, and both of them turned out to be massive hits, and then he does League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, although that was the same summer as this. Now that I think about it, he's like, well, I don't understand this either, but I guess it'll be a hit.
Yeah.
And that was the last movie he ever made. Right.
Well, and Will Smith also said he didn't get it, and he turned it down. I mean, it's a gamble, you know. I think about that all the time. You don't know when you're signing on to a movie. I mean, I could look like a friggin' idiot, you know. Like these directors are promising this, but I don't know how this is going to look. I don't know who these people are.
It's like when I pitched the MovieFilm Podcast to you. Remember? You know, like, what the hell kind of, who are you? And why are you in my house? I think is what you said.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
I was like, all right, let's become friends first.
Right. First things first.
And then 5 years later, I come back to you and I'm like, hey, you think about that podcast?
Yeah.
So there's the scene from the beginning.
Here we are. You're probably wondering how I got here. That's what she should have said in the first scene.
See, that sex scene there in the beginning, all of that was necessary to really emphasize just how deeply they care for each other.
Yeah, I think whether it's that or just some sort of intimate moment. I mean, you definitely needed that, you know?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they're flirtatious in the first one, right? But in this one, we have to know that, I don't know, power of love, what he's willing to do. Where he's willing to put humanity, right, in the crosshairs or whatever you want to call it.
I think if this scene had Power of Love by Huey Lewis playing in the background, I would have bought it more. I don't want to tell the Wachowskis how to do their job. I'm just saying Huey makes most things better.
That's right. I can't argue with that.
Yeah. And then, like, right as he grabs her, it's the power of love. Yeah, I don't know.
I remember another thing as we're watching him whip through a street here, blinding buildings going past him. I remember another selling point was, I don't know if it was the Wachowskis or maybe the studio being like, this is going to be the most realistic depiction of flying you've ever seen. Mm-hmm. I remember that. And actually, I do think it looks really cool.
I think that the stuff we get in the third one still holds up really well. When him and Smith are like fighting each other.
Yeah.
And it feels like a forerunner to what Snyder did with Man of Steel.
Totally agree. Right? Yeah. Sort of found like a new visual language for cinematic flying. Yeah.
Yeah, totally right. Exactly.
Yeah.
See, like this, I think it's so interesting, right? Like Neo is at a point where the normal rules of the real world or the Matrix don't apply anymore.
Mm-hmm.
he's got such this intrinsic connection with the code, right?
Right.
If he can rewrite the code and make her not dead, right? There's nothing that he can't do.
Mm-hmm.
And now the pattern of the Matrix is broken. So this is completely new territory.
Right.
This has never happened before in the history of the Matrix,
right.
where the one does not return to source.
Right.
So in other words, Neo is no longer a prisoner of predestination.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is, there's no path in front of him anymore.
The future's not set.
There you go. You might say, there's no fate but what we make for ourselves.
I love it. Lately I've been saying, I don't know why, whenever I say okay, like I'm thinking, I go, okay. And then I think the whole thing goes. There's like, they naturally flow together for me. And then Federica the other day, she was just cleaning the house and she went, okay, the whole thing goes. Brian. I was like, yes.
One day you're going to say that on an airplane or something, you're going to get in trouble.
Okay.
The whole thing
goes. What?
As you're dragged away, it's a movie from 1991.
Right. No,
they put your head in the cruiser, you know.
Right.
See right here. Look at how Neo is just laying it out. And this is the first time ever we've seen Morpheus like, what'd you say?
You're right.
Like,
right.
What?
Yeah.
He's like, no, that's what he said. Like, I mean, it's just how it is.
Yeah.
You know? And suddenly nothing makes sense anymore for Morpheus.
Mm-hmm. Which is good drama.
I know.
Yeah.
I remember when this came out. So we're in between the second and third movie, and one of the theories that was being put out there was the idea that it's a nested matrix. So like a matrix within a matrix.
Okay.
And that would be the big reveal,
mm-hmm.
right? And one of the pieces pointed to as evidence of that is that in just a little bit, we see Neo manifesting his powers here in the real world.
Mm-hmm.
How can that be?
Right.
And it's not that, of course. But my only point in bringing that up is I remember, there was that period there where it was just all about the speculation, and the speculation was kind of the fun of it,
mm-hmm.
you know? But I'm also like, remember when people didn't get mad because their fan theories didn't come true?
Right.
Like, that's where we are now.
Right.
Where people are like, oh, well, I saw that going differently.
Yeah.
People still get mad, I guess, but this is different mad. It's like stupid mad now.
Right. The degree to which people are able to get mad and express themselves.
Yes, exactly.
Amplified.
I mean, that's, all three of these movies existed in the world before social media.
Mm-hmm.
And this, by the way, I love his reaction to seeing his ship destroyed.
Yeah.
Right? Morpheus's life is falling apart.
Yep. That's great. Great second movie ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that dream is gone.
And,
I mean, the one thing he'd count on was his ship and his immutable belief, his certainty in the prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of those things are true now.
Yeah. And
the machines are still coming. Oh, crap. What was I saying?
Shoot.
No,
I was listening to what you just said, and then I got caught up in the...
Probably didn't matter.
No. I love that at least one person listening right now is yelling it. Trying to, pick up Bart. Pick up Bart to you.
Trap sip you. See, so Neo manifesting his Matrix powers in the real world is an indication of how the lines between the worlds are blurring.
Mm-hmm.
Because he has the power within the Matrix to rewrite the code. And now he's able to do these amazing things in the real world. It's not as clear cut.
Mm-hmm.
So the Matrix is not oppression unless it's used that way.
Right.
the Matrix is a means for peace, potentially.
I gotta say, I haven't seen the third one in a while. This is, I have like a broad stroke memory of it. Like, yeah, I have this feeling about it, but now with this so fresh in my brain, I'm really looking forward to revisiting that.
Yeah.
And then being all brushed up for the new one, having all this info in my head.
It's good, right?
Yeah.
In the second Renaissance short, we see one of the things that is manufactured out of 01 is those hover pads
that are all over the ship.
That are all over the human ships.
Oh wow!
Right, so that's machine-made technology that the humans are benefiting from.
I like that.
So it's never as clear cut.
Mm-hmm. I'm definitely going to watch those. I think I'll watch those before I do the third one.
You totally should. Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, if you go online, you can see the Enter the Matrix footage, and I think that exists in between. It exists during the second movie, leading into the third movie.
Okay.
So, you have Niobe going through, and she encounters the new Oracle who explains what happened, et cetera, et cetera. You know, there's a lot of fun stuff in there. Now, God, are we already at the end of the movie?
Yeah.
That's right. I remember that cliffhanger being almost unanimously, people were like, huh?
Yeah, it doesn't pack the punch I think they thought it might.
Right.
But
well, I think the main reason is that guy who Smith exists within.
Yeah.
Last time we saw him was halfway through the movie, if not earlier.
Yes.
Right. And so, yeah, they were counting on, I don't know. I think maybe they should have kept the character alive a little bit throughout so that we would be aware of what's happening. But it's literally like, oh yeah, there's an EMP that went off. We don't know what happened. There's just one person surviving. And it's like, dun, dun, dun.
Right.
Which is maybe a mistake.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, because Terminator 2 is on my brain now. It's like if you had seen the first half of Terminator 2 and you know what the T-1000 looks like. He looks like a cop and he's done this, and he's stabbed people and blah, 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 and what he's able. And then maybe if we lost him for a little bit, but then at the end it's like, oh no, it's okay. The person who's unconscious is a cop. Maybe they can help us. And then the camera pans over and it's him. You'd be like, oh no. Right. But like we don't have all of that attached to this person.
I think that's true. I think that was probably a miscalculation on their part. That said, if you're just jumping from 2 to 3, then it's irrelevant because it's just an arbitrary stop point.
Right.
You're just going to go right into the third one.
Right.
It matters more if it's meant to get you hyped up for the next movie that's coming X number of months down the line. Mm-hmm. So it matters less now.
Right. You're just going to probably marathon these and just go right into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now that said, and we'll see this more in the next one, but that actor, Ian Bliss, who plays Bane / Smith, I mean, talk about a brilliant impression of Hugo Weaving.
Yeah.
Right.
That's funny.
So thoughts on The Matrix Reloaded, Brian?
I dig it. I've always kind of defended this one.
Yeah.
And I showed it to Federica for the first time. She'd seen the first one several times, but had not seen the sequels. And it didn't really play for her.
Interesting.
And it just wasn't getting her interest like I thought it might. I was forced to confront it again. And it made me realize, like, yeah, there is a lot of, like we've said, like a lot of talk in here that I think can get a little, not heady, but it just gets a little, like, you just want to get a little more, I don't know, more characterization and a little bit less philosophy or something. Mm-hmm. But I at the same time, I really mean it when I said it earlier. Like, I just admire that this is what they wanted to do and they did it. Yeah. So if it doesn't pack the punch of the first one, it is what it is. But and I would agree that it doesn't. I mean, I think the first one is almost perfect, like A New Hope. You know, it's like a perfect, contained, great adventure film. But I don't know. I'm endeared to it, and I think that helps me. I don't know if someone who were to come to it fresh, how they would feel. Well, how do your kids respond to these sequels?
They really liked them. You know, I certainly, you know, I've discussed the films with my oldest, and you know, he plugs into the broader story stuff that's happening. You know, when we watched the trailer for the new one last night, he's kind of asking the right questions, like, "Oh, well, why is he there? And how did it? And, you know, isn't it set in the past? And why do they have cell phones?" And like he's asking, like, so in other words, he's aware of the world this trilogy exists within. Right. I think what the Wachowskis were attempting was to tackle through this trilogy. They were attempting to create a dialectic, right? And a dialectic is essentially where you have an interaction between different points of view, where you're ultimately trying not to defeat or deny the opposing arguments, but to arrive at the truth. Okay, so how do we get that? You present thesis, then antithesis, and then synthesis.
Right.
And that's what this trilogy is. Movie 1 is the thesis. Movie 2 is the antithesis. Movie 3 is the synthesis.
Which I love.
Yeah.
Right? In a blockbuster.
Yeah.
Yeah. That alone just makes me love it.
I think it makes it absolutely unique, you know? The Matrix is explicitly not about watching the mouth of Sauron collapse in on itself, or it's not about the Death Star blowing up. It's doing something different, and that's not meant as a denigration of those other two examples. But I'm glad that we're doing something different.
Agreed. And
because
the action's awesome.
Yeah.
On top of it, you know, it's not like that suffers because of anything else that they wanted to do.
That's exactly right.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of big ideas, and you know, hey, couldn't we stand to have some more big ideas in our big Hollywood blockbusters?
Yeah.
Like I'm happy with the big dumb movies too. That's fine. But if something makes you kind of think about something in a new way, what's wrong with that?
Yeah. Yeah. Something you get to walk out of the theater, go have dinner, and then talk about the whole time.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Right. And the other thing is, again, I went on a journey with this movie where I went from what I would call active apathy. Never antipathy like Sean, but I went from active apathy to, at this point, truly, I would consider just adoration. I grew to love everything they're doing, even the things that I consider flawed. I grew to love.
Right.
And that's how our engagement with film or with any art can be. You're not wedded to your initial reaction because you grow and change. The work stays the same. But you grow and change, and so you plug in different ways, no pun intended.
Right.
and that's the journey I went on with the Matrix trilogy. I think a lot of other people have too, and if not, I hope I hope people will in certainly in the weeks ahead, but in the years and decades to come, because these movies aren't going anywhere.
Yeah. And with the new one coming up, you know, I think a lot of times a movie all these years later, what they call it, like a legacy sequel, you could say it's some sort of desperate cash grab to go back to something that's been proven. But I just feel like, I don't know, like these films always feel like they have something to say. So I feel like there must have been another idea that cropped up that couldn't be contained. And I'm excited about that.
And as we've talked about before, I mean, a fourth Matrix movie is certainly not something Keanu Reeves needed to do.
Right.
He has his pick of whatever he wants to do. And so clearly there was something there that spoke to him, which, if nothing else, he said, well, I want to know what fourth Matrix movie appealed to Keanu Reeves.
Exactly.
But with that, as we bring the curtain down on this commentary, we will be back very shortly. Just as The Matrix Revolutions was released shortly after The Matrix Reloaded, our movie
Yeah.
film commentary for
Wow.
The Matrix Revolutions will be released very shortly.
Yeah. That's
So
fun.
I hope in like 2 weeks is the plan.
Yep.
All things being equal.
Yep. In time for the new one.
So with that, any last thoughts you want to say before we wrap this one up?
No, but I'm always happy dropping into this world. So it's fun going in here and hearing your thoughts on it.
Well, we will be back soon, like I said, talking through the Matrix Revolutions, and then, of course, very soon thereafter, talking about the Matrix Resurrections. So if you have any questions or comments for us, please let us know. Let us know what you thought of our commentary track here. You can email us at moviefilmpodcast@gmail.com. You can also hit like on our Facebook page, facebook.com/moviefilmpodcast, and message us there. Or at me on Twitter, Zacky's Corner. That's ZAKIS Corner. It's also my website, justadded.com. And, of course, Brian is out there doing his thing.
Doing my thing.
Doing his thing. And so with that, I will leave it there. Thanks, everybody, for listening to our movie film commentary track for The Matrix Reloaded. We'll be back soon. Thanks.